Report. Make sure you sign that petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube, or in the link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716. Now, the House Democrats, according to the Washington Post, are actually reportedly considering expanding the impeachment probe, which basically currently only revolves around whether Trump instigated basically a quid pro quo situation regarding dealing with the Ukrainian president and getting them to investigate on his political rivals, Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden. Now, they're also considering including obstruction of justice and other high crimes as this quote-unquote high crimes, because it's high crimes and misdemeanors that are considered for articles of impeachment, but they're considering high crimes that were outlined in Robert Mueller's report, as well as possible situations of profiting off of his position as president, which we know is not possible, is for real, you know what I'm saying? Now, the House Intelligence Committee has to vote on their report that they're submitted to the House Judiciary Committee today, so we'll see how this turns out. Trials for the House Judiciary Committee begin tomorrow. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So today, California Congressmember Duncan Hunter is actually slated to plead guilty to a campaign finance violations case. Now, he's been caught basically misusing or appropriately using $250,000 in campaign finance funds for personal use, using it to, as was said, basically finance multiple affairs that he was having, like romantic affairs with aides and lobbyists. So his wife Margaret Hunter has already pled guilty to the conspiracy to misuse campaign finance violations back in June. So he's set up to come next. Now, this is somebody that was an early supporter of Trump and seems to be moving kind of like Trump as far as with the laws or whatever, because he's definitely talking about how this shit, the charges against the world witch hunt, and now he's pleading guilty. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So the Atlantic Richfield Company, which is a company that's owned by BP. BP being, everybody knows it for gas. It's one of the largest companies in the world, people. It is BP that's actually set to go against 100 Montana residents today in the Supreme Court case hearing that is basically about the residents wanting the Atlanta Richfield Company, again owned by BP, to clean up the arsenic that's in this copper smelter that they have. So basically an area where they were doing a lot of you could say a lot of melting and mixing the metals and whatnot, and there's arsenic polluted over there for decades, and they want them to clean it. And Atlanta Richfield Company and BP, their argument is basically that it's up to Superfund standards. So this case will have a lot of implications for other Superfund companies throughout the U.S. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in the archipelago of the Philippines, there was actually a Typhoon Kamuri that actually swept the nation. We're talking about 500,000 people being forced to evacuate their homes. You're talking about at least one person killed, and you're talking about the airport, the Manila airport in the capital, Manila, actually being forced to shut down for 12 hours, grounding hundreds of flights. So typhoons are said to have been recently exacerbated by climate change. I mean, this is what the science is pointing us to. You know our motto: Green Wall and Graduate. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure y'all sign that petition. Get Donald Trump on Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, on the video description if you're watching this on YouTube. Also, stop the KKK, man. The Kings killing kings. We always got, man. Go ahead and check this paraphernalia up in all different colors and shapes and sizes and all of that on blackfoxnews.com/shop. Now, Amnesty International is reporting that at least 208 people have been killed, brutally murdered in Iran's crackdown on protesters that were protesting nationwide all last month due to a crazy hike in fuel prices, which many experts say result from the sanctions that the United States has imposed on Iran. Now, They're, experts are saying that the death toll is like much higher. And keep in mind that Iran had like a whole internet blackout, so a lot of journalists can't even report on how many people were killed. They couldn't really see what was going on unless they were in the country. Green War graduate. So the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure you sign up petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the take out all link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube or in my Instagram link for my bio, Grady Grant 716. But yeah, stop the KKK too. Kings killing kings, yo. We all we got, man. Check out blackfoxnews.com/shop. More gear just like this in different color shapes and sizes and more paraphernalia for Black Fox News. Now, over in the Central American country of Honduras, 7 men were actually convicted and sentenced up to 50 years in prison for the murder of indigenous environmental activist Bertha Cáceres, who was murdered in her home back in March of 2016 while during the time where she was protesting very heavily against the building of a hydroelectric dam on linked indigenous territory. Now, the court ruled that these men were hitmen hired by executives at DESA, D-E-S-A, the company that's actually behind the building of the dam. And at least 2 of these hitmen were trained by U.S. military forces. Green War graduate. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report over in Central America, in Honduras specifically, in the northeastern coastal city of Puerto Cortes. Jose Arita, a popular Honduran TV host who actually hosts a nightly political show known as the Hour of Truth, was actually shot and killed instantly last week when 4 men basically rolled up on him and killed him, and shot and killed him outside of a convenience store. Now, their motives were unknown and people were unidentified, and I'm saying men, being sexist on some level. I don't really know if they were men or not, but the reality is the Honduran College for Journalists actually say that since 2001, 80 journalists have been murdered, with 8 of them being murdered in 2019, this year alone. And most of these murders were unresolved. So it's real out here for the people that's reporting truth to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention. New War graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Guatemala, you actually have like 4 top military officials or former top military officials that have actually been charged for crimes against humanity and genocide in separate cases involving the Mayan, indigenous Mayans, more specifically the Maya Ixil community. Now, this most recent charge goes to a former military operations chief under the now deceased dictator, Refrain Rios Montt. Efrain Rios Montt was ruling during the Dirty War that lasted, backed by the U.S. and lasted 36 years. So this military operations chief, Luis Enrique Mendoza Garcia, actually was had led an operation in the early 1980s where 1,700 Mayans were actually killed and thousands more were displaced. So he's being tried for that in March. Green War graduate. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. 105 million in military aid has recently gone quietly to Lebanon after months of unexplained delays. So obviously due to this impeachment inquiry that's going on today, and just in this present time, a lot of people are comparing this to what's happened with Ukraine and the $390-something million that was withheld from Ukraine and their president Volodymyr Zelensky under the pretense that they were going to withhold that in order for them to force Ukraine to open up an investigation against Hunter Biden and his father and possible political presidential candidate Joe Biden. Now, there's no evidence that Trump sought any favors from Lebanon, but I guess you never know though. We'll see how this turns out. 105 mil ain't nothing to sneeze at. Green War graduate. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Now, the Duke of York out in London, Prince Andrew, was grilled about his relationship with former supposed billionaire, a serial sex predator and trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein, who actually was on trial and about to go into trial, being detained in a Manhattan federal prison before he was found to have hung himself, supposedly. But nevertheless, when asked about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, in regards to the woman Virginia Jeffrey that was accusing Jeff Epstein of having forced her to have sex with Prince Andrew at age 17. Prince Andrew denied even knowing her, despite there being photos of them together circulating. So now Virginia actually got her own BBC interview, and it was explosive because she not only confirmed all of that, but she also said that she entered Jeff Epstein's sex trafficking world while working at a locker room in President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. Ain't that a bitch? Green Wall and Graduation. The new world order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report, man. Stop the KKK, the Kings killing kings, man. We all we got. Make sure you go ahead and get you one, give you some other fly shit, get it in different colors, shapes, and sizes at blackfoxnews.com/shop. You can find the link in the Black Fox News bio on Instagram. But just type it in. It's an easy type in. Now check this out though. The Washington Post is actually reporting that 3 lawmakers who've actually put out op-eds criticizing Medicare for All heavily, actually received help from industry lobbyists that lobby for like a multi-billion-dollar group funded by private insurers and drug companies. The culprits, the lawmakers that actually wrote these articles that actually were revised or helped to be revised by these lobbyists were Kathy Kelker and Jen Gross, both Congress members in the state of Montana, as well as Steve Huffman, Ohio Republican state senator. So Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So in recent months, about 90 foreign students have actually been arrested in Detroit for while attending this the Department of Homeland Security's fake university called the University of Farmington, or Farmington University. And I've reported on this early in the year, and a lot of people are aware of this fake university being used. It's literally being used to lure people, mostly from India, to actually come into the university that's said to be in Metro Detroit. Mind you, with student visas that end up getting revoked due to the fact that they're like invalid, since the university itself, the reason that would have them even get those visas is fake. And since January, you're talking about 250 people that have been arrested by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, due to this sham. Many have been, most of them have been returned, deported to India, while some still stay to fight their case. So, if you know about University of Farmington, don't enroll. Green Wall and Graduation.